So, hi Altrincham, thank you for being there tonight, guys. Tonight's live is going to be somewhat different, unfortunately. The intention of tonight's live is to try and draw a line underneath what you may have been seeing happening on some personal Twitter feeds, and also on some of our live streams recently. Before we start, let me just catch up here so I can actually see what's going on. If you'd like to comment on anything that's being said here, then please do. I will address any comments or questions that you have, so please go ahead. And well, we'll press on for the time being. So, why are we here tonight? Well, I've just told you a little bit about why we're here. Before we start, let me give you a little bit of background to Altrincham News. Altrincham News now consists of a number of different online properties, most notably Altrincham News and That's Altrincham. Altrincham News itself came about when I was running a Twitter feed, Chris was running a Facebook feed, and our worlds collided one day when we both decided to use the same banner picture that was about 3 pages deep in Google Images. I noticed this picture and I got in touch with Chris. We met up, we had a little bit of a chat. We both had the same ideas, the same sort of goals that we'd like to achieve. So we decided to work together on Altrincham News and see what we could make of it. All went well for a little while. We started doing the live videos. Guys, I'm sorry, I don't seem to be able to catch any comments here at the moment, but if you bear with me, there we go. Thank you, Gavin. Yeah, okay, I can see the comments now. So, yeah, Altrincham News came, I told you how Altrincham News came about. This was in March 2016. A few months later we decided to start doing some live streams. We did our first live video from the planter in Altrincham Town Centre that we'd recently adopted. And everything was going well. However, unfortunately, as I just said before, you've probably seen a little bit of sniping going on within Altrincham News. I'm here tonight to set the record straight and draw a line under it. Unfortunately, I'm afraid some of you may not like some of the things that I'm going to say, but it needs to be cleared up and the air needs to be cleared for everybody. So, as I'm sure you're aware, there's a bit of an issue between Chris and myself at the moment. It's been an ongoing issue for a little while now. Chris and myself do clash. We have some different ideas, I guess, about where Altrincham News should go. So let me tell you how we got to where we are at the moment. Yeah, Stephen, yeah, I wouldn't have any problem with Chris being here to put his side of it, but from what I can see on the lives and elsewhere public, Chris has already done that over and over again over the last few months, so I thought it was about time everybody knew exactly where Altrincham News is. So Chris, all this started, it was late on last year when this started. It all started from a live that Chris did in Hale. He received some rather negative comments on the stream from these people were actually trolling, fair dues. Unfortunately, I was a little bit upset with Chris's reaction. Chris was very dismissive on the videos, and I don't think that comes across as, I don't think that's right on the videos. You may be calling me now, having said that about Chris, you may be calling me now for what I'm saying, but all I want to do is clear the air, and so everybody out there knows exactly what's going on and what we're up to. So we persevered with the videos. Some of them we did together, some of them we did on our own. Unfortunately, in my mind, one of us became, I'm going to tell it how it is, I'm sorry, one of us became very big-headed about it. Chris was, we call this within Altrincham News being very James Corden-ish. I'm sure you know James Corden's story. James Corden, from Gavin and Stacey fame, fame went to his head a little bit. Unlike Chris, yeah, James Corden hit the bottle a little bit, which didn't do him any favours. But the fame went to James Corden's head, and he very nearly lost everything that he had. I was particularly worried that Chris was heading down the same road. Chris became very dismissive of criticism. He wouldn't entertain any criticism at all. On the live comments on videos, if anybody had a negative comment, then the person responsible for that comment found that the comment was deleted, and 9 times out of 10 they were banned from the page straight away. At the same time, however, it appears that it was acceptable for negative comments about anybody else to still stand on the page. Added to, it has to say, by Chris himself. We found this very one-sided. The team were getting very, very upset about this. We tried to talk about it. It made our working environment rather difficult. And this carried on for a little while. And personally, I tried my hardest to smooth things over, which just didn't seem to work. Moving on, in November 2016, I woke up one morning to be informed by Chris that overnight Altrincham News had become a limited company. Now, I know there was a little talk about this on Chris's personal Facebook feed this evening, so I'm going to address that. So one morning I woke up to find that Altrincham News had become a limited company overnight with no consultation with anybody else involved. The truth is that this made Chris feel very important, so he could tell people that he's a director of a limited company. Thank you, Gavin. Alan, I'm sorry, but if you kept up with what's been going on, then I'm afraid this stream is necessary. We need to, well, I will carry on anyway. So Altrincham News became a limited company with no forethought whatsoever about the legal responsibilities that comes with, the fact that we're responsible for submitting accounts every 12 months. And there's only one person who, at the end of that 12 months, in November just gone, had to run around and sort it all out. There's only one person who did that. We feel that Chris, I'm really, really sorry, but I have to tell it how it is because it has to be cards on the table. We feel that Chris is a little bit of a diva. Chris posted on his Facebook feed a message that I sent to the group chat, and I'm not afraid for anybody to read that because it's quite clear what I thought and what I was going to do. What I did was I downgraded Chris's admin status. Now, a lot of Chris's friends were upset about that, but let me tell you what was actually behind it. Downgrading the admin status, it did not stop anybody from posting whatever they wanted to the page. Downgrading the admin status did not stop anybody from doing any live stream anytime they wanted on the page. All that downgrading the admin status did was stopping somebody from being so big-headed, which I'm afraid that is what happened. I really don't know what else I can say about this, guys, because that is basically the complete story. We want to see Chris. We appreciate that Chris's walkarounds Altrincham are very popular, and we want to see Chris carrying on with that. Chris enjoys doing these live streams, and you guys enjoy watching it. We enjoy watching it. We would like people to do within Altrincham News what they enjoy most doing. Personally, this is where I do most of my work here in Altrincham News, behind the scenes on the laptop in this little office. I spend so much time here on my own, but I enjoy it. Trying to generate these new ideas. You may be aware of Mr. and Mrs. Altrincham. We're toying with the idea of a Market Dave character, which we will probably be introducing to That's Altrincham. We try our hardest, but we cannot tolerate anybody being so big-headed. And again, guys, I'm really, really sorry that we've had to address this in such a public matter, in such a public way. But we need, thank you, Dave, but we need to draw a line under this. And we all want Altrincham News to go somewhere. As we are now a limited company and we have responsibilities, we want to behave like a limited company, and I feel, yeah, Lisa, okay, yeah, you enjoy watching Chris, and the fact that he is a bit of a diva, he knows that we call him a diva, and that's fine. It is part of what makes Chris the lovable character that he is. But behind the scenes, that's a different matter. You can't treat the people you work with in the same way. You're going to upset them, and you're going to get the backs up. And we can't have things falling apart behind the scenes. So that's why I've had to take the action that I did. I'm sorry that some of you don't like it, but as I said a few minutes ago, it does not stop anybody from posting to the page whenever they want to. It does not stop anybody from doing a live stream whenever they want to, although we are trying to stick to our scheduled times so people know when they will catch a live stream and when they will catch Chris's walk around. Chris's walk around, incidentally, I think you may see a breakfast show tomorrow morning and a walk around tomorrow night. Given the circumstances at the moment, I think it's unlikely that you will see a Sunday live this week. I can see from the comments here that some of you are supportive of Chris, some of you are supportive of what I'm saying. That's life, that's how it goes. I can take it on the chin. I've always said, yeah, Rita, painting there of the Altrincham clock by Rita, and thank you for that, Rita. Yes, we've still got it. It takes pride of place in my office here. So, guys, yeah, I appreciate your support for both Chris and myself. David, bullied. I'm sorry you feel that it's bullying. It's not bullying at all. It's called intervention. I had to protect the reputation of Altrincham News as a limited company. We cannot allow people to just please themselves and be so dismissive of criticism We need to be able to take criticism on the chin and deal with it in a professional manner, which is what I hope I'm doing. I'm reading some of your comments here which are criticising me. That's fine. But I'm sorry you feel that it's bullying, because it isn't. We are not taking anything away from anybody. All we're doing is preventing people. I'm struggling for the word, to find the right words to say this, guys. Well, this is the way it is, I'm afraid. It's not going to, unless Chris chooses to stop doing his live streams, then you will still see him, and we enjoy his live streams. Rita, no, Kate hasn't left. Kate has recently been in hospital, and we're hoping that she'll join us again on this coming Wednesday. You're also likely to see Kate over on our entertainment channel, that's Altrincham. Amanda, yeah, I agree with you, Amanda. Yeah, I personally expect more professionalism. This is why I've had to do and take the action that I felt I had to take. I'm trying my hardest. There is only one person who is doing all this sort of stuff. I don't mind other people going out there, doing the live streams and getting the screen time. You see me on the screen maybe once a week on a Sunday, maybe twice if I do a Wednesday. Chris loves his walkabouts. Is there any way there can be a separate page linked to Altrincham News for Chris's walkabouts? Well, I suppose there is. I don't think it's necessary, but I guess that would be down to Chris. If Chris would like to separate out his walks, then I'm sure that could be accommodated. I am genuinely looking out for everybody here at Altrincham News. I'd just like to touch on another little issue that I've been pulled about in the past. I sometimes follow people around on the page and tidy up a little bit the posts that appear on the page. Take capital letters out where they don't belong, tidy up the punctuation. Dave, you broadcast to less than 100 people, how can these issues exist? I know it's a bit silly really, isn't it? And that's why I'd like to draw a line underneath it all. A lot of you have already heard Chris's opinions on this, and I fear you will hear more still. I'm sure there's more to come. How can you expect to cope with more? David, we've tried our best. We always say that we're not professional. I am trying to look out for everybody at Altrincham News. If everybody's happy with helping out with Altrincham News, then the happier people are, the more they're likely to put into it, particularly if it's something they enjoy, like the walk-arounds. James, thank you for your support there. I think I'm going to wrap up a little bit here, guys. I've only really scratched the surface of what's been going on, but I think I've been clear enough in my motives over what's happened recently to let you know that I'm not some ogre that is pushing people around. I suppose it's why is Chris getting his mates to big him up on streams? That's not true, viewers. Well, okay, it's all getting a bit personal. Yeah, Stephen, I know it is, but I'm hoping this will draw a line under it. We, good luck for the future, it can't get any worse. Yeah, well, that's why I'm here tonight, to try and... It was necessary to put the other side of the story, because there was a lot of comments, a lot of negative comments about Chris being pushed around, Chris being bullied. Chris hasn't been stopped from doing anything on the page. The only thing Chris has been stopped from doing is lording it over everybody else. It couldn't be allowed to continue. I hope that all this can be sorted out. We are going to carry on either way, whichever form it takes, unless Chris decides to leave us. Then you will be seeing more of Chris, particularly his walk-arounds. As I say, you're unlikely to see him on a Sunday. Let me tell you a quick story relating to Altrincham News here. Back in the 80s, because I'm old, you see, back in the 80s I used to work in radio, and I loved working in radio. I did a bit of writing radio adverts, radio commercials for a few local stations. I absolutely loved it. I loved the atmosphere, the people involved, the way I was able to express a creativeness in my own way, and I really enjoyed it. Excuse me if I'm jumping around, guys, but I'm trying to keep on top of your comments as well here. Just separate. There is space for both. There is space for both, but I would like to see everything come under the Altrincham News umbrella. Okay, Amanda, yeah, you think it's time to quit because it's not about Altrincham now. Unfortunately, that's one of my concerns as well. Altrincham News, despite the name, is not particularly news about Altrincham. We allowed Altrincham News to become what it wanted to. It's more of a community. We like to see a bit of fun on Altrincham News. A little bit of news here and there. There are other Altrincham specific sites, and there's David Pryor's Altrincham Today, of course. David's just brought a magazine out, and Altrincham Today are doing really well. And yeah, a lot of our stories come from Altrincham Today. We share what we feel is relevant to you guys. All the posts we put on for Altrincham Today link back to Altrincham Today's website, so we're not taking anything away from anybody else. We're just trying to... We're trying to do what we enjoy, and what the majority of the feedback we get, it seems that you guys enjoy. So I was saying about radio. Excuse me, I have a bit of man flu going on at the moment. You know what man flu's like, it's terrible. So I was working in radio, and I loved it, and for 20 odd years I've been trying to find something in a similar sort of vein where I could try and be creative again and do the things I enjoy, and this is allowing me to do that, and I'm quite happy sat here doing that while Chris is out there. Last night, despite the issues between Chris and myself, last night while he was doing his live, I was sat here at this very desk watching the comments, adding his email address so you guys could contact him, and as soon as his live was finished, I sat here, uploaded it to YouTube so it was easily shareable. Guys, I'm trying to help here. Nobody is pushing anybody else around, and I hope that this short live stream, I say short, it's been nearly half an hour, doesn't time fly? I hope that this short live stream has drawn a little bit of a line underneath what's going on and cleared it up for a few people. We don't want to carry on doing this publicly. It needs to stop. Chris, yourself, Chris, please take notice. Chris, I know you have your supporters and that is fine, but we have to take account of everybody. There has to be a happy medium, and that's what we're aiming for. And I guess that's all I can say. If you disagree with me, then I'm sorry, let me know about it. Andy, that's Altrincham News. You can email me, you can tell me what you think. Other than that, I think I'll finish now and just say thank you for your support, for Chris and myself, and we'll carry on doing the best we can. Other than that, I'm running out of words, guys. This hasn't been easy, and I would really rather not have had to do it. But it's done, it's been done, and now you know. So I think I'm going to finish there, guys. Watch out for Chris's breakfast show. There may be a breakfast show in the morning. He will probably be doing a walk around town tomorrow. Sunday I'm uncertain about at the moment, but stick with us and hopefully things will smooth over and we can crack on with doing what we enjoy and what you guys want to see. So once more, people of Altrincham, thank you for your support, and I'm off. I'll see you again soon. Take care.